And a massive mosaic has just been unfurled to our right-hand side of the south stand end. Deep in my heart, I do believe, and the heart is made up of white flags and the Middlesbrough crest in the centre of it. Coventry fans joining in, already lobbing a couple of blue smoke bombs onto the playing surface. Goodness me, both sets of fans are very much up for this game. We start at 0-0. Borough fans online have been saying this is the biggest game at the Riverside since an FA Cup quarter-final over 20 years ago when Everton was soundly beaten 3-0. But the Teessiders didn't make Wembley in the end that year thanks to Adrian Clark's Arsenal. Now Coventry City stand in the way of Michael Carrick getting to a playoff final in his first season in management. No mean feat when you consider where Borough were when he took the job in late October. Mark Robins also had a difficult start to the campaign with Coventry City, but his new 4-year contract signed today is testament to how he's built the Sky Blues up from League 2 playoff winners 5 years ago to where they are tonight. Robins has said the pressure is all on the hosts tonight rather than his side, but his players will need to improve accuracy here. No shots on target in that goalless first leg that we brought you in the Midlands on Sunday. Just one change in terms of team news for Middlesbrough. Marcus Forss came on as the second half substitute for Isaiah Jones, and that's the switch that Carrick makes tonight. So Zach Steffen in goal, back four of Tommy Smith, Paddy McNair, Darragh Lenihan the captain, and Ryan Giles. Hayden Hackney and Alex Mower to the holding midfielders. Marcus Forss, Chuba Akpom, Riley McGree in behind Cameron Archer. Two changes for Coventry. Mark Robins brings in Ben Sheep and Jamie Allen to midfield, dropping Josh Eccles and Matt Godden, who normally plays further forward, to a bench. So only one up for the Sky Blues tonight. Ben Wilson the keeper, Luke McNally, Carl McFadzean and Callum Doyle are three across the back. Brooke Norton-Cuffy and Jake Bidwell are the wing backs right and left. Ben Sheep, Liam Kelly, Jamie Allen and Gustavo Hamer, who's fit in a box midfield in behind Victor Gyökeres, their lone striker. Both teams in their first choice colours as they were in the first leg. Middlesbrough in all red with a white stripe horizontally across the chest. Coventry in all sky blue. So in a way you can forget the first leg. There's no away goals, none of that. We're at 0-0 as we kick off in this second leg for the right to face Luton at Wembley in the Championship playoff final and all the riches that promises. And Middlesbrough attacking the south stand have already won the ball with Marcus Forss down the right hand side of the area. Akpom tries to touch it back to Forss, who drives it wildly with his weaker left foot across the penalty area. But they have retained possession. Middlesbrough work it back into midfield, and Alex Mowat just in front of the halfway line keeps the ball away from Gustavo Hamer. We've only played 30 seconds and already Middlesbrough look right up for it. Adrian Clark.
Yeah, fantastic start for the hosts. You know, the youngster there, Callum Doyle, he's only 19, on loan from Manchester City. Last season, of course, he came up with Sunderland, so he's got some experience of these kind of occasions, but he was caught in possession, wasn't he, by Marcus Forss. It was a great piece of pressing, and really, I think once he breaks into the box, it could maybe have done a little bit better, but very aggressive, assertive start from Borough.
Great atmosphere at the Riverside as Gustavo Hamer gets tripped. Referee says play on David Coote. And here comes Jake Bidwell as Coventry attack for the first time, kicking from right to left as we look towards the north stand. The aforementioned Callum Doyle, diagonal ball into the box, looking for Hamer. It's headed out by Ryan Giles. Norton-Cuffy scrapping for possession with Riley McGree, who holds him off very easily in the end, the Australian. It's chipped downfield by Giles, but Carl McFadzean will tidy up and give the ball back to his keeper, Ben Wilson. 0-0.
Yeah, so many good, exciting duels all over the pitch. Yeah, Riley McGree really strong there in the challenge with Brooke Norton-Cuffy, who's a big lad, let me tell you. For him to come out on top in that shoulder barge was actually pretty impressive.
Force work to the right-hand side of the Coventry defence, and McNally, who gets up to the halfway line. Norton-Cuffy on that far touchline, the Arsenal loanee, who once his playoff commitments are sorted will head off to join Ian Foster's England under-20 side for the under-20 World Cup, which starts this weekend in Argentina. Same goes for Callum Doyle in possession now for Coventry. Up to halfway, looking for Jamie Allen, just to clip the ball down the left-hand side. Gyökeres trying to get a ball for the first time. Out of play by McNair for a Coventry throw. 2 minutes gone, 0-0.
Yeah, I think Victor Gyökeres will be sick of the sight of Paddy McNair. I mean, he's so touch tight there, very aggressive.
Sheaf and Hamer trying to combine to get Gyökeres in. Half cleared by Middlesborough, but Coventry win it back. And it's touched back to halfway by Doyle for McFadzean. Doyle again, just over the halfway line, runs past his manager Mark Robbins, clips the ball into the area, but it's way ahead of Gyökeres, and Zach Steffen has the time to chest the ball down and will bring the ball to the edge of the area.
And he'll pass out from the back very, very coolly. It'll be interesting to see how brave Coventry are. Are they going to press really hard up the pitch, or are they going to lure and lay traps for Middlesbrough, let them come into midfield, and then these four central midfielders try to win possession of the ball? I sense that's not what they might do, because they've only got one up front. There'll always be a spare centre-back tonight. It's the next pass that I think Coventry will be all over.
McGree in the centre circle, he's well dispossessed by Liam Kelly, but the ball breaks to Hayden Hackney, inside left for Middlesbrough, out to the left hand side, and Giles across the face of goal. How did that stay out? Turned away brilliantly by two Coventry defenders when Agpom and others were flying in. Cameron Archer in on the scene as well, but Coventry scrambled it clear, 0-0.
Magnificent defending from young Callum Doyle at the far post. What a ball in from Ryan Giles. We know he's got a good left foot, but he has fizzed that right along the edge of that 6-yard box. It's missed everybody somehow, and young Callum Doyle could easily have put that into his own net. He didn't. He got something on it and they cleared the danger. But yeah, good start this from Middlesbrough. I think Michael Carrick will be delighted.
Middlesbrough 0, Coventry 0 in the EFL playoffs, live on Talksport 2. They're also underway at the Etihad over on Talksport for Manchester City against Real Madrid in the Champions League semi-final. That, of course, is at 1-1 from the first leg. 0-0 from the first leg here. Away goals do not count in the playoffs. Indeed, they haven't done for over 20 years. Maybe a relatively modern phenomenon in UEFA competitions, but the playoffs long since dispensed with that rule. And I know that from all too bitter experience, because the year my lot were last in it, away goals would have helped us. Never mind. Balls up with McGree. Good touch on halfway, and he releases Giles down the inside left channel into Cameron Archer at the edge of the area. Tries to get past McFadzean, who sticks out a long right leg, gets a toe poke on it, and Coventry smuggle it clear, but at the expense of a throw. 0-0.
Experienced defending there from McFadzean. Could easily have panicked. It was a little bit of inexperience, wasn't it, from Norton Cuff. He gets himself into a bad position. They play the ball in beyond him, and Cameron Archer gets himself into a great area, 1v1 against McFadzean, but superbly defended by the Coventry man.
Norton Cuffy was thought to be under pressure for his place from the recently returned to fitness Pankati Darbo, but Mark Robbins has kept faith with the Arsenal youngster. Here's another former Arsenal youngster, Akpom, trying to release Archer down the right hand side of the box, but good swift goalkeeping from Coventry's Ben Wilson to come out and smother, and he bowls the ball out to Gustavo Hamer, who drifts past McGree, the man that whacked him on the knee late in that first leg and caused a few doubts as to whether Hamer would make it tonight, but he's fit and he's won a free kick. 0-0.
Oh, Coventry will be thrilled that he is fit and available. 9 goals, 10 assists. Last time I was here 10 days ago, sticks one in the bottom corner from outside the box. Gus Hamer, he's got a hammer right foot on him, that is for sure, but he's just a good all-round midfielder. He can tackle, he's athletic, he can pass, and as I've just outlined, he's got that productivity inside the final third as well.
9 goals and 10 assists.
Yeah, it's outstanding. So providing he is fit, he had to play. He had to. I think even if he's 80%, Mark Robbins picks him tonight.
Well, I was told he didn't train yesterday, so presumably that was with tonight in mind and just making sure he's as fresh.
You don't need a lot of training this time of the year, do you?
That's also true, particularly when these two teams are now facing each other for the third time in 10 days. 0-0 on Talksport 2 in the playoffs. As tense a night as it was an afternoon at the Coventry Building Society Arena on Sunday. Michael Carrick stood very calmly at the edge of his technical. Oh, poor back pass. Gyökeres is in behind. Great goalkeeping. Zach Steffen sticks out a right mitt and pushes the ball away from Gyökeres after a poor Middlesbrough back pass had Coventry in.
Oh, Tommy Smith, what are you doing? What are you thinking? He doesn't look, he plays the back pass blind. Gyökeres gets on the end of it, should score really. He tries to go around Zach Steffen. It's magnificent goalkeeping. Long arms, long levers there to deny the Swede.
In the meantime, Middlesbrough come forward down the left-hand side. It's Giles again, who's offside as he received the ball from Hayden Hackney. And so Coventry City get a free kick inside, well, just outside their own penalty area, right-hand side. 0-0 the score.
It's breathless, isn't it? It really is. Probably already slightly more exciting than the first leg.
I really enjoyed the first leg. I've seen so many reports saying garbage or uneventful. Right, the tension and the jeopardy of that game, I thought it was absolutely fascinating.
Yeah, it wasn't a bad game, but I think tonight will hopefully be a better game. I think we're in for a little bit more punch inside the final third. But you've got to take the handbrake off at some point, and it looks to me as if Middlesbrough are very much looking to do that this evening.
0-0 on Talksport 2. Middlesbrough clear their lines up to halfway, but it's headed back towards the Middlesbrough penalty area by Liam Kelly. And then ball's put out of play by Luke McNally for a throw to Middlesbrough. 4 wins in their first 15 matches before Michael Carrick was appointed. They've been in the top 6 since the turn of the year, but never crucially got higher than third. There was that thought that Middlesbrough might mix it with Burnley and particularly Sheffield United, but it wasn't to be.
No, they needed the Blades to falter and they didn't. Credit them for that. And Middlesbrough did tail off. I mean, it was mid-table form, I have to say, across the last 10 games of the regular season. So they don't come here in the best nick tonight, Burrow.
Ben Wilson comes outside his own penalty area under pressure from Marcus Forss and actually did spectacularly well to get the ball away from danger. And then Zach Steffen at the other end, very calm as Gustavo Hamer was bearing down on him to find his captain Darragh Lenihan. 0-0, and it is being played at a breakneck tempo here at the Riverside.
Well, if you're not fully fit, you're going to feel it pretty quickly, aren't you? Because this is fast and frenetic. It's a proper match, this.
Akpom, Middlesbrough's top scorer, the Championship Player of the Year, finds Tommy Smith right-hand side, level with the area, passes to Akpom. Akpom across the face of goal. Again, brilliant defending, this time by McFadzean, and Coventry trying to prevent the corner, do so at the expense of a throw right by the corner flag. 0-0.
Well, that's twice now McFadzean has come to Coventry's rescue. Akpom, absolutely superb, just linking down the right with force. His touch was magnificent. He drives to the byline, he puts the ball, he cuts the ball back, but unfortunately for him it's the sky blue shirt that he picks out instead of Cameron Archer. But look, already we've seen Cameron Archer come alive in and around the box. We've seen Chuba Akpom look dangerous, and we've seen Marcus Forss have 1 or 2 moments as well. The Middlesbrough forwards, those guys that I think have scored 54 between them this season, they look sharp and they look at it.
Well, the pattern of the first game is certainly being replicated in terms of possession. It was pretty much 2/3 of the ball going Middlesbrough's way on Sunday, and that's the case so far here. We played 10 minutes on Talksport 2 in the EFL playoffs. We are your home of the EFL playoffs. Nobody else brings you every single semi-final and final as we do across the network, including, of course, all 3 finals. Luton are already there. Peterborough United are as good as there. They play Sheffield Wednesday tomorrow night in the League One playoff second leg. That's on the Talksport app. They're 4-0 up from the first leg, remember the posh. But Sheffield Wednesday are 21 unbeaten at home. So, you know, football and all that.
Oh, look, we've seen it in the Champions League, that kind of lead.
Deportivo La Coruña, AC Milan, was it?
Yeah, good knowledge.
Liverpool Barcelona, there's another one. That's more recent, maybe.
Was there a Barca PSG game that?
Oh, goodness. Oh, that's the Unai Emery game, yeah. Here's Alex Mowat for Middlesbrough. Loses out. Good sliding challenge for Coventry City, but it drops back on the halfway line for Lenihan. He finds Ryan Giles, who's had a good season on loan at Wolverhampton from Wolverhampton Wanderers here at Middlesbrough. Be interested to see what happens after the end of this season, whether Julian Lopetegui's been keeping a weather eye on how his players been doing here.
Well, he's had a few good loans, hasn't he, in the Championship? But Morgan Gibbs White, they let him go, and look what he's done for Nottingham Forest. So, you know, sometimes looking closer to home is a good idea if you're a manager.
Free kick quickly taken by Middlesbrough on halfway. McGree trying to burst through the centre of the field, but he ran into a lot of traffic. Coventry get the ball clear, looking for Gyökeres, who fed off scraps for a large part of the first leg. He's not had much so far, apart from that back pass that Tommy Smith had him in behind, but he has just won a throw for Coventry on this near side as we sit right at the back of the west stand here at the Riverside. The first brand new stadium built since World War II, when it was finished in the mid-90s, and the first stadium to fully comply with the findings of the Taylor report post the Hillsborough tragedy at the end of the 80s.
I didn't realise that. So they trailblazers in a way, because there are so many stadiums that kind of look like the Riverside that have been built since. I must have come here very early on. I came here with Arsenal in 95, 96. Was on the bench that day, and it was a pretty new stadium.
What do you mean you were on the bench that day?
I mean, I was normally on the bench, to be fair.
Thank you. Riley McGree with the ball, but I'm sorry, I'm being nasty. There's no need for that, is there? How many times did I play professional football? Answer, the square root of none.
It's all right, it's facts.
Just stating the facts. 0-0 on Talksport 2 as Tommy Smith works it back to his goalkeeper Zach Steffen, drives the ball onto the chest of Ryan Giles, who controlled it very neatly actually, knocks it down for his captain Lenihan just trots up to halfway. Sky blue shirts block his path over halfway, so now Akpom comes deep to the halfway line. Mowat in the centre circle. Archer just trying to roll Carl McFadden and get behind him, but the chance has gone to try and do that. So now Tommy Smith rolls it out to the right wing here, the near side to us, and Marcus Force up against Bidwell. Early cross in from Force, headed away at the near post by McFadden. And Middlesbrough have a throw level with the Coventry penalty area. 13 gone, 0-0.
We're seeing some interesting rotational movement from Middlesbrough. Hayden Hackney pretty wide at times, leaving Mowat in the middle on his own, with McGree actually often being on the inside of Hayden Hackney. That Smith there we saw from right back invert into central midfield. They're pretty sophisticated actually when they're in possession of the ball, Middlesbrough.
Ball headed out of play as Middlesbrough attack comes to nothing. Coventry, remember, had a wretched start to the season themselves. The problems with the pitch post the Rugby World Cup sevens meant that they had 4 games postponed at the start of the campaign. Oh, Rob Edwards is here, we've just spotted on our monitors. Wonder why he's turned up, the Luton manager.
You would do, wouldn't you?
Oh, of course you would.
Yeah, I mean, he knows plenty about these two sides, but I always think when you're there, when you're at the game like we are here tonight, you get so much of a better feel for what you see.
And you have to. I remember years ago, having watched Paul Scholes on the television for years, I finally got to see him at St Andrews, 20 years ago, and I realised how much I'd missed about what a brilliant player he was when the cameras weren't on.
This is why they rate him so highly. Yeah, it's true.
Oh, given away by Zach Steffen, and Gustavo Hamer for Coventry, trying to get towards the edge of the penalty area, rides a couple of challenges, and he was fouled, and a yellow card goes the way of Paddy McNair, Tommy Smith, forgive me, for holding Gustavo Hamer back as he tried to counter-attack, and that all started because Zach Steffen was a bit loose, the Middlesbrough keeper, with his pass out from the back. Free kick, Cov, 0-0.
Well, he is a bit casual, isn't he? He's very laid back, Zach Steffen. Too casual, as it turns out there. And he's tucked his right back up, hasn't he? Tommy Smith, who's had a difficult start, he made a bad back pass himself early on, now finds himself on a caution, and that's bad news for them, because Gyökeres will run down his side for fun tonight.
Coventry's free kick. Hamer runs over the ball and Bidwell delivers it deep to the far post, headed down and out by Riley McGree. Middlesbrough fans happy with that clearance, but it will still be Coventry in possession. Brooke Norton-Cuffy turns a neat ball round the corner. McFadden looks to find Jamie Allen down the right, but he was fouled, and that's another free kick to Coventry. This time it's just a yard in from the far touchline on the right hand side, about 25 yards from the dead ball line. 0-0 the score, and we've gone just past the quarter hour mark on Talksport 2.
It's better, isn't it, from Coventry? A bit more composure in and around the final third, looking for little 1-2s. And Middlesbrough have got to be wary not to be overheated in this pressure cooker atmosphere. I mean, it's white hot here tonight, but you've got to stay cool within your own mind.
Hamer again with the delivery, swirls it into the near post and headed over the top for a goal kick in the end. Carl McFadden was the man that got his head to it. but it comes to nothing. Adrian Clark alongside me, Ian Dancer here at the Riverside. You're listening to Middlesbrough 0, Coventry 0 in the EFL Championship playoff semi-final, live on Talksport 2 with Carling, the UK's #1 lager. It's 18 plus. Please drink responsibly. Ben Sheath, the latest to commit a foul, this time on Akpom, and it's getting a bit tetchy out there, Adrian.
It was always going to get tetchy. When you play the same team 3 times in the space of 10 days, little battlegrounds get drawn and you start to get a bit used to one another and little rivalries begin to develop, and I think that's what has happened here. Players will remember, he kicked me at the CBS, I'm going to get him back tonight. Little things like that, they carry over.
So petty, you footballers, aren't you?
I was never like that, I've got to say. I could never remember who kicked me.
Because they ran away too quick, you couldn't spot them. Now Akpom has stayed down.
Well, this would be bad news, wouldn't it? And he's for them.
Just holding his knee.
Is it Sheath that...
He's not moved all that much. I'm always wary of being a little too judgmental before physios have taken a look. Players have come to this near touchline to get some water and a bit of impromptu coaching from their respective managers.
Yeah.
But Akpom just holding his right knee.
We haven't seen a replay, have we, of the challenges yet, but a little bit of a hush has come around us here at the Riverside. If there's one player that Borough and Michael Carrick do not want to lose, it is Michael Carrick. It is Chuba Akpom, rather. So let's hope he's okay. You always worry when a player holds their knee.
Well, yeah, and it's right on the knee. It's not just below. It looks like it's right on the joint that he was holding. Don't forget they're currently into the first half in the Champions League semi-final, live on Talksport. Manchester City 0, Real Madrid 0. Jim Proudfoot and Stuart Pearce are your commentary team at the Etihad. Akpom's on his feet. Talksport breakfast back tomorrow morning from 6 a.m. Celtic versus Rangers, Alan Brazil versus Ali McCoist. Always good fun with those two when you wake up between 6 and 10. And we've got some Premier League football, lots of football tomorrow night. Newcastle Brighton in the Premier League, an exclusive to Talksport. 7:30 kickoff. Hugh Rosencroft, your presenter. Sam Matterface and Mickey Gray. Also the second leg of AZ Alkmaar against West Ham. Jim Proudfoot and Alvin Martin will be commentating on that second leg. And on the app, as I mentioned, Sheffield Wednesday looking to get those 4 goals back against Peterborough in the League One playoff semi-final second leg. Adam Bridge and Courtney Sweetman-Kirk will be your commentary team at Hillsborough. We're about to restart play with a free kick for Middlesbrough, and Paddy McNair goes back to his keeper. Akpom is just being led down this near touchline, just jogging up and down. Doesn't look too bad as he comes back onto the field, but Adrian Clark, one of his many jobs tonight can be now to keep an eye on him.
I'm going to keep a beady eye on Chuba Akpom the next 5 minutes. I don't think he looks hugely comfortable. Obviously they want him back out there, but he keeps fiddling with that knee. He's certainly walking with a little bit of a limp at the moment. Let's see, when he sprints and has to stop, when he kicks the ball, that's when I think we'll find out the extent of that injury.
He's just being asked to track into the commentary half as the Sky Blues have possession. Goes across to the right-hand side from McNally to Brooke Norton-Cuffy. 0-0 if you're just tuning in to Talksport 2 in the EFL playoffs. We've reached the 20-minute mark at the Riverside Stadium. No goals, 1 half chance for either side. A ball flashed across the face of goal for Middlesbrough by Ryan Giles, but brilliantly cleared from right in front of his own goal line by Callum Doyle. And then at the other end, Tommy Smith with a lax back pass allowed Coventry's Victor Gyökeres in behind, but Zach Steffen, the Middlesbrough keeper, stuck out a right claw and got the ball away from the Swede. Ben Sheath almost trod on the ball there and allowed Hackney to win possession, and in fact Hackney's forced McNally to touch the ball out of play for a Middlesbrough throw on halfway. 0-0.
Yeah, you can just tell that a lot of the players down there are nervous. They're making uncharacteristic mistakes. It is a night for cool heads, that is for sure. But I still think on the balance of play, Middlesbrough will be happy with their start, but they haven't really tested Wilson in the Coventry goal as yet, and that will be a source of mild frustration.
Gyökeres challenged by his opposite number McNair, and McNair, as he did so often on Sunday, comes out on top. Ben Wilson, the Coventry keeper, has the ball at his feet, clears it right-footed down the centre of the field, but Gyökeres has not run for the ball. Zach Steffen comes outside his area and puts his defenders under pressure. Jamie Allen was closing him down. Coolest man inside the Riverside Stadium. Nobody else felt as calm as Zach Steffen did right that
moment. He can't be human. He can't be. I mean, absolutely no sign of...
So he's 10 yards out of his penalty area, bringing the ball down on his thigh. He's got Jamie Allen thundering in at him, and he can just casually play a square pass to his left.
What's his heart rate? What's his pulse per minute?
Must be like Berbatov when he was in the box. It never got above 80, I reckon. His heart rate.
He's so cool. He really is. But I'll tell you what, it can put your defenders in a bit of a pickle at times when your goalkeeper leaves it that late to make the pass.
McNally steps in front of Archer and won the ball back temporarily for Coventry City. Touched back by Ben Sheaf for McFadzean. He turns and gives the ball back to Ben Wilson, and he was under pressure from Cameron Archer, but managed to sneak the ball 10 yards further forward to Ben Sheaf. Now Coventry looking to hit the ball long for Gyökeres, brings the ball down on his thigh, just moves away from McNair and clips it out to Norton Cuffy on the far right hand side, with Coventry attacking the north stand. Diagonal ball from McNally, picks out Bidwell, volleys it across the 18-yard line, looking for a teammate, but it was probably hit a bit too early from Bidwell. But Coventry will get another chance to attack because they've won the ball back. Here's Liam Kelly, the captain, driving forward up to the edge of the area. Gyökeres almost chopped it into the path of Jamie Allen, didn't quite come off for Coventry City and Middlesbrough clear. McGree on halfway runs into McNally and he clips it downfield. Adrian Clark, that was almost a delightful piece of skill from Victor Gyökeres. 0-0.
Yeah, and I think that's why Jamie Allen was picked tonight in this four-man box midfield, because rather than having a striker up there, they've got somebody that can run from deep, and somebody's got to track that guy, and there he arrives on the scene as it comes into Gyökeres, who flicks it beautifully, by the way. Allen arrives late, untracked, and he's almost inside that danger zone. So that's the kind of moves that I think Mark Robbins will have worked on in training.
Akpom tracks back to the halfway line with,
I think it looks okay.
Doyle watching maybe step of the way. Yeah, he appears to run it off, doesn't he? That knock to his right knee from 4 or 5 minutes ago. You're listening to Talksport 2, your home of the EFL. The playoffs will continue right the way through to Saturday afternoon, where as part of game day we'll bring you back-to-back commentaries from the League 2 playoffs. Stockport against Salford at 12:30, and then at 3 o'clock Carlisle against Bradford as the League 2 final gets sorted out. And in the Champions League, a goal to Manchester City. Bernardo Silva has put Manchester City in front of the Etihad. That's live on Talksport right now with Jim Proudfoot and Stuart Pearce. So Manchester City holding the whip hand. Nobody having that advantage here. Still 0-0 on the night and on aggregate. But Middlesbrough have just won a corner as Marcus forces Jake Bidwell to head the ball behind for a corner kick at the south stand end. 0-0.
Yeah, when you're the opposite wide man, you have to get to the far post. It's just imperative. It's part of your job. That's what Force did there. It just applies enough pressure to Bidwell to panic a little bit and put it behind for a corner kick. But yeah, there's a nice ebb and flow to the game at the moment. I wouldn't say either side's really got the advantage, but this is Middlesbrough with the set piece.
Coventry have left 2 up.
Yes, bold that.
For this corner, and it's coming in from Alex Mowat from the left-hand side into the near post, headed up in the air by McFadzean. Heyman will bring it down on his chest and try and launch a counter-attack. Brilliant work from Marcus Force to run it back. Drives it up to the edge of the area, but Coventry get it half clear once again. Drops near the centre circle. Brought down by McNair. Good pass out to the right-hand side, finding Alex Mowat once again for Middlesbrough. Here's McGree, going to go for goal from 30 yards out. It deflects wide off McFadzean for a second Middlesbrough corner in quick succession. 0-0.
Yeah, it was worth a try, wasn't it, from Riley McGree? Again, it's McFadzean in the way. He's had a busy opening 26 minutes or so. Carl McFadzean, I don't think that was ever going to beat Ben Wilson from there, but they get themselves another corner, and again Coventry leave Jamie Allen and Victor Gyökeres up, and of course what that does is that it forces Michael Carrick to leave 3 back. So one of the big men that might have gone forward for this has stayed at home.
McNair's corner, right-footed in, swinger for Middlesbrough, headed away again. McFadzean, the ball's attracted to him like a magnet at the moment, headed it out from the edge of his own 6-yard box, but it comes back out to McNair. Left-hand side for Borough. McGree Right to challenge, gets into the area left hand side, clips it over the head of Akpom. It's hit too firmly, the cross by the Australian, and Coventry will have a throw left hand side, level with the edge of their own penalty area. In the WSL tonight, just to let you know, well, Adrian would want you to know, Arsenal won 4-1 at Everton to keep their title hopes alive in the WSL.
Good to hear. Yeah, impressive that.
And West Ham and Chelsea are currently 0-0 in the 8:15 kick-off in the WSL.
But it's bold to leave Gyökeres up top because he's a big lad, isn't he? He's 6'2". He can add something when defending set plays. But I think the thinking behind it is that when we clear it, we want someone to clear it to. And he's so quick across the ground. He can make things happen out of nothing, really, Gyökeres.
I can't think of the last time I saw a team that left two up for a corner in any.
Yeah, it's very much not in vogue, but it's a bold move. It's a little bit game of cat and mouse, isn't it, between Mark Robins and Michael Carrick. He's just testing the water. He's saying, you're going to keep three back or not?
Both with Manchester United connections, of course. Robbins and Carrick played at different times. Yeah. Robbins alleged to have saved Sir Alex Ferguson's managerial career with an FA Cup goal late on. Carrick, who pretty much won everything there was to win. Here's Tommy Smith for Middlesbrough at 0-0. We played 28 minutes on Talksport 2, and the Middlesbrough right back wriggles clear of Ben Sheaf. Force gets tackled very strongly by Liam Kelly, but he's giving it away. Akpom just slips on the greasy surface, but that invited another challenge from Kelly. That's given us a free kick by David Coote. So Middlesbrough have a free kick about 30 yards out to the right of centre, 0-0.
Yeah, it is a foul from Kelly, no doubt about that. It comes from his loose pass. We've seen a few loose passes, haven't we? I think from both teams, particularly from Coventry. Middlesbrough pretty aggressive when they haven't got the ball, looking to win it back very quickly, and they're just forcing errors from the visitors.
Well, we've seen Alex Mowat in his Barnsley and his West Brom days, who
he can hit them from here.
He likes a long-range strike, and he's the one stood over this free kick. There's a two-man Coventry wall set up just to the left of the D. Middlesbrough and Coventry players lining up the edge of the area. Mowat just teases it into the box, drops on the penalty spot. McGree tries to drive it goals, and it's hooked away by the Coventry defence up to halfway. Gyökeres showing good strength, rolls one man. He's running at two Middlesbrough defenders, and Tommy Smith, one of them, gets in front of him and clears it out for a throw. 0-0.
Yeah, look, there's Coventry in a snapshot. 1 minute they're defending, boom, the next Gyökeres is running 1v1 against the defender. He backs into Giles, he rolls him, but he can't then get around Tommy Smith, who's there on the cover. So, and that's why they leave him up from those corners, because he's such a threat on the counter.
Good skill from Brooke Norton-Cuffy on the right hand side, dropped his shoulder and started a run down that right channel. He's now level of the area, wriggles inside a couple of challenges. It's now with Gyökeres, teases it down the right hand side of the box. Norton-Cuffy knows he's offside, went for it anyway, sort of playing chicken with the linesman, who did put his flag up eventually. It's a free kick to Middlesbrough. Half an hour gone, 0-0 on Talksport 2. Adrian Clark.
Yeah, very much even Steven still, isn't it? I can't tell you who's going to win this tie.
I couldn't tell you when we got here. I'm no closer to knowing now.
They're so evenly matched. Yes, it's contrasting styles, but both carry a threat, don't they, in and around the final third, and as they should. They've got the top two leading goal scorers in the division here in Akpom and Gyökeres, and you've also got Cameron Archer, who scored goals at a faster rate than anybody else in the championship. So we've got so much goal power, and it's what's going on in between that has been so evenly contested up until this point, not just tonight but across that first leg too.
Middlesbrough with excellent home form under Michael Carrick, only lost once as they win a free kick. Archer's bundled over by McFadzean. Fans want a yellow card to be issued to the Coventry number 5. Nothing doing on that score, says David Coote, but yet only one defeat at home since Michael Carrick took over, and that was against the champions Burnley, whilst Coventry haven't lost away since February the 3rd at West Bromwich Albion.
It's amazing. Coventry with the momentum team, weren't they, coming into the playoffs? Such a good run for them. They absolutely deserve their place. They came with that late run, and
Fadzing there again.
He's been very good, hasn't he?
Stick his foot in to get in front of Cameron Archer, but the ball on halfway is robbed by Darrell Lenihan, the Middlesbrough captain. Plays it out to the left-hand side. And now he gets it back from Riley McGree, gets a shout of man on as Gustavo Hamer closes in on him. Now Middlesbrough work the ball from left to right, just inside the Coventry half of the field. 0-0. If you're just tuning into Talksport 2 for this Championship playoff semi-final second leg. No closer to knowing which of these two sides, Middlesbrough or Coventry City, are going to be lining up against Luton Town at Wembley in the Championship playoff final, which will be live on Talksport over Whitsun Bank Holiday weekend. Alex Mowat for Middlesbrough finds McGree in a bit of space inside left channel, drives to the left hand corner of the box, puts the cross in, headed away this time for Coventry by McSpadden again, and Gyökeres with the challenge. McNair fouls him, free kick, and again the Middlesbrough fans bay for a caution, which does not come from the top pocket of David Coote. Instead it's just a free kick to Middlesbrough, 0-0.
Yeah, 17 v 17. It's some battle, isn't it? Paddy McNair and Victor Gyökeres, two very committed players. Gyökeres will never give a defender a moment's peace, but I've got to say, so far across these two legs, McNair's been up to it.
Akpom is fouled again by Callum Doyle this time, and Callum Doyle has finally overstepped the mark, and the totting up procedure, as indicated by David Coote, shows that the Coventry City number 3 goes into his notebook alongside Tommy Smith. One booking apiece, but no goals.
Yeah, I mean, it's harsh. I mean, it's just a collision, isn't it? I mean, for me, that's not a yellow, it's a foul.
But he indicated totting up procedure.
Yeah, but from Doyle or the whole team? Because it's not Doyle's fault, is it? Everyone else has been fouling. I think that's a little bit harsh. And look, you get this. It's a crowd-pleasing decision, though.
Free kick is just ahead of the centre circle for Middlesbrough. 12 minutes to half-time on Talksport 2. McNair collects the ball short, crosses into the box, it's headed out by McNally. Knew he had Riley McGree just behind him. Giles recycles the ball back into the box, and it just skims off the head of Chuba Akpom and goes behind for a goal kick. It's never really a gilt-edged scoring chance. The ball was almost behind Akpom before he could try and twist his neck muscles. It's a goal kick, it's 0-0.
Yeah, well, Giles' left foot feels like it's going to be a big player tonight. Already we've seen 2 or 3 brilliant crosses from him. This is another. And I think Akpom just goes a little bit early, actually. If he holds his run back, he can maybe attack that. He gets ahead of the ball and it drifts out for a goal kick in the end. But that left back from Middlesbrough has got an absolute wand of a left peg.
Ben Wilson's goal kick, chested into the path of Hamer by Gyökeres, placing through to Allen, couldn't get the shot away because of brilliant covering defending by Ryan Giles. Sensational defending coming across from the full-back when Jamie Allen looks certain to at least get a shot on target.
Yeah, that's a superb cover play, isn't it? Because Allen's in. Again, that's what I'm talking about. Jamie Allen from central midfield. Who's going to go with him? He runs between defenders, the touch isn't the best, and it just allows Giles that extra little bit of time to get back in and make the challenge on the cover. But for me, Allen is a real danger and a real threat to Middlesbrough when he arrives late into the box.
Over 100 appearances since he joined from Burton Albion, Jamie Allen. Began his career at Rochdale, who are no longer members of the EFL. One of these two sides won't be a member of the EFL come next weekend.
I've done my own totting up, Dan.
Go on then.
I've done my own totting up procedure, and yes, 6 fouls from Coventry, 1 per player.
Okay.
Callum Doyle's unlucky there, very unlucky. It's his first foul.
Hamer for Coventry fires the ball back into his own half. Hassan McNally to trot back 20 yards or so to receive possession, and he'll go back to Ben Wilson, the keeper. 20 clean sheets in the regular season since his recall at the end of August. He didn't start the season as first choice for Mark Robbins, but what a terrific job he's done between the posts. Here is Jamie Allen once again, and just had that half chance inside the area. Bidwell finds Sheath, who goes back to the halfway line for Coventry, and Callum Doyle. Middlesbrough pushing up, just trying to force Coventry into playing it long. Sheep on halfway, does play it long, down the left channel. Bidwell's got him behind Smith for a moment. He's onside, gets to the dead ball and doesn't wrap his foot round it enough. Didn't get to the ball quickly enough for me, and it goes behind for a Middlesbrough goal kick, 0-0.
Completely agree, Dan. See, he's got to make more of an effort to get there than get the ball under control. On a night like tonight, the pitch was heavily watered ahead of kick-off. It's always going to skid on, and yeah, that would have been a very special cross for him to get it accurately in the box on the run. But it was a lovely ball from Sheaf, and that's what we're seeing from this box midfield. You get guys like Sheaf just pull out to the wide areas and just to offer something a little bit different.
Tommy Smith for Middlesbrough plays the ball to this near touchline. Right in front of Michael Carrick is Marcus Force. Akpom, good quick feet from him, and Tommy Smith now moving into the Coventry half, trying to feed it infield. It actually came back to him off Jake Bidwell, who couldn't control the interception. Now it's with Hayden Hackney, this young player who's made a real breakthrough this season at Middlesbrough. Out to Giles on the left hand side, whips across in, and Bidwell, under no real pressure, doesn't quite concede a corner, ends up being a throw right by the corner flag on Middlesbrough's right hand side, 0-0.
I think he did the right thing there. I mean, it's out for a throw in. If you don't know what's behind you, you can't take a risk, can you? And he just flicks it there, out for a throw in, but it's another Giles cross causing a problem.
2-0 for Manchester City over on Talksport against Real Madrid. A second for Bernardo Silva as well on the night. You've got the Talksport app downloaded. You can swipe easily between our two commentaries this evening. Here on Talksport 2, our concentration is firmly on this playoff semi-final. Middlesbrough coming forward. Akpom trying to make a nuisance of himself at the edge of the 6-yard box. Goes down under pressure from McNally. Claim for a penalty kick, very quickly waved away by David Coote. Adrian Clark.
Oh, he stayed strong, didn't he, McNally there? He had to. Ball comes in from the right this time, and he hangs in the air, Tuber Akpom. Gets something on the ball, then it drops in between him and McNally, who just basically just gets his shields Akpom away from the ball and shepherds it back to his goalkeeper. But yeah, that was a challenging moment for the centre half.
Middlesbrough in possession. Akpom again chops a lovely pass out to this near side, the right, and Smith. Now Force works the ball back infield to Mowat, just ahead of the halfway line, drives into the centre of the half, plays the ball left to McGree. Good move this from Middlesbrough. McGree gets to the left hand corner of the box, faced up by his opposite number Jamie Allen. Now Giles takes over, drives for the byline, chips the cross to the far post. It might drop for Marcus Force, chests it down, tries to drive it goalwards, and flying into the challenge was Jake Bidwell, and it goes out of play for a throw in the end on this near side, 0-0.
Well, talk about making amends for your initial error. That's another Giles cross. I mean, he is making hay over on that far left hand side. It's a really bad misjudgment from Bidwell, but his reaction's great. He sprints out to make a block on the strike from Marcus Force. Brilliant from him.
Alex Mowat takes over for Middlesbrough, right hand side, sweeps across him, volleyed away for Coventry. Yeah, Jake Bidwell got caught underneath that header that allowed Force to chest the ball down. Middlesbrough trying to turn the screw a little. Archer has had a quiet opening half, but he's got the ball now. Left hand corner of the Coventry penalty area. Goes out left. Giles lets the ball go out of play for a throw in. About 10 yards from the corner flag on the far side, in front of those Coventry fans, 2,000 or so of whom have travelled up from the Midlands to take their place in the southeast corner. Here at the Riverside Stadium with 5 minutes of normal time remaining in this first half on Talksport 2, 0-0. Middlesbrough put a cross into the box, but Fantine inevitably heads it clear. Driven up to Gyökeres in the centre circle. Oh, he rolled McNair brilliantly, who fouled him. This is going to be a yellow card for Paddy McNair, because Gyökeres turned him so sweetly inside the centre circle, and McNair took one for the team there and gets a yellow card.
Well, I wouldn't want to mark Victor Gyökeres. I'm just putting it out there. He's just a live wire, isn't he? He's a box of tricks. It's a beautiful dummy. Lets the ball go between his legs, and it goes through McNair's legs, and he knows it, and then he puts it in the block. It's a definite yellow. He knows exactly what he's doing, Paddy McNair, and that puts him in a very difficult position, because as we've seen up until this point, right across the two games, McNair wants to get tight, wants to be aggressive with Gyökeres. Well, now he's got to be super careful.
So 3 yellow cards been issued in this first half. 2 to Middlesbrough players in Smith and McNair, and 1 to Doyle for Coventry. And we're into the last 4 minutes of this opening half on Talksport 2. 0-0 on the night, and it was 0-0 from the first leg, so we still await the first goal in this semi-final. Norton Cuffy wrestles for possession with McGree, wins it quite comfortably, looks for Gyökeres with a long ball up to halfway, but Gyökeres saw the ball fly over his head. Said he didn't feel the love at Brighton, which is why he enjoyed the loan spell at Coventry, which of course then turned into this permanent deal.
Yeah, well, he didn't. I'm not surprised he didn't feel the love. He didn't play, did he?
No.
I don't think so. Look, Brighton have had so many good players in recent seasons that I suppose some are going to slip through the net, aren't they? When they don't give them the game time, they will move on.
You get that at all Premier League clubs because of the sheer size of these academies.
Exactly. And
you'll have seen that Arsenal, Josh De Silva, there's a great example.
There are loads of examples, loads. So yeah, you'd always get a player that sort of makes you look foolish for letting them go, but it's often better for that player to move on to a different club somewhere where they do feel loved.
It's Adrian Clark alongside with Ian Danter at the Riverside Stadium. Middlesbrough carrying the greater threat, certainly with a greater amount of possession in this first half. Well over 2/3 of the ball, Adrian Clark.
Well, I'm not surprised about that, but they have marginally been the better side. Giles against Norton Cuffy at the moment is one-way traffic. It's dual Giles.
Oh, McGree, lovely turn at the edge of the area. Just couldn't wriggle clear of another Coventry defender. Hackney wins a strong header in the middle of the Coventry half. It's worked back to Smith. Now Mowat, 30 yards out, quite central. Again, plenty of sky blue shirts around him, but they're keeping possession well in these tight areas, Middlesbrough. Now slid down the left-hand side, but overhit by Lennon. Idea was right, trying to release McGree down the left-hand side of the box, but ball just fizzed out of play for a goal kick to Coventry as we edge towards half-time on Talksport 2. The game is still goalless.
It is. I think what you see, one of the differences between these two sides is that Gyökeres wants to run in behind. Okay, he's got blistering pace. He offers that real speed. And Borough have got quick strikers. Archer's no slouch. Outcromb's pretty quick. But a lot of the football is in front, isn't it, of Coventry? And I think that's why they've been able to keep them at bay so far. The real penetration is coming from Giles on that far side, where he's basically outplaying Norton Cuffy at the moment. I think if I'm Mark Robbins, I'm looking at Fankati Dabo on the bench and thinking, you know what, I might make a change here.
Now Cameron Archer's been taken out by Luke McNally down the Middlesbrough left, but it's just a warning for Luke McNally rather than another yellow card to be issued by Davy Coop, and it does give Middlesbrough a chance to get the ball into the Coventry box with a free kick, only about 15 yards inside the Coventry half of the field on the far left hand side for Borough.
Well, it's no different, was it, to the Callum Doyle booking? I know I keep banging on about it, but it's just...
No, you barely mentioned it.
It's exactly the same foul, but we don't get exactly the same decision. It just drives me nuts. But Coventry probably are giving away too many of these, and Middlesbrough sooner or later might profit from one of these free kicks.
Well, let's see what happens with this free kick. Coventry holding a very high line, 25 yards out. There's one or two Middlesbrough players standing in offside positions, specifically Akpom and Archer. It's rolled back to Ryan Giles near the halfway line, plays it infield to Hackney. He's got a bit of space, hits a diagonal ball to the right hand corner of the box, Link of a Force, who was clambering with Bidwell, and they both go to ground. A bit of a wrestling match going on, and they give each other a bit of a stare out as they walk away, as we move into 3 minutes of added time, and David Coote steps in between them to say, cut it out, lads. Free kick to Coventry, 0-0.
Well, I think Force is frustrated because it's really good defending. What you do in those situations, the ball's coming over your head, you feel the player, as I'm backing into you.
Don't bruise me like Chris Wellham did on Sunday. I'm still in traction.
I would not want that off Big Chris, that is for sure. But he just backs in, doesn't he, Bidwell? He feels where Force is and basically pins him, and he can't jump, he can't do anything, and that's why he lashes out.
Goal kick to Coventry City. We're in that 3 minutes of added time now on Talksport 2, the end of this first half. Championship playoff finals. Luton against who? Middlesbrough or Coventry City? Poor touch from Ben Wilson, the Coventry keeper, as the ball was played back to him down the left hand side of his penalty area. He shanked it out of play for a throw, much to the delight of the home fans. and the throw is Middlesbrough's, level with the edge of the penalty area, down this near side, the Middlesbrough right, as they continue to attack the south stand in this first half. Touch back to McGree by Smith. Work back down the line towards the halfway line for a moment. Now Hackney driving towards the edge of the area, finds force, right hand corner of the box, might break for Hackney again. Archer couldn't get a shot away, brilliant defending. Outpom can't get to the follow-up, and Norton Cuffy will bring it away for Coventry City. Now the ball's rolled up to Gyökeres on halfway, touches it down for Hamer. Hamer looks long to get Allen in behind McNair. Very calm header from McNair to find his captain Lenihan out on the far side. He chips it downfield. McGree can't win it, and now Coventry have got a chance late in the half. Good turn from Sheep, finds Allen. Gyökeres finds Sheep again, approaching the right-hand corner of the box. Norton Cuffy takes over, 3 in the box waiting for a cross. It's worked back in field to Liam Kelly. Bidwell wants it now, you can see him calling for it. The left-hand corner of the area. Hamer out to McNally. Back in field it goes to Gustavo Hamer. Norton Cuffy takes over in the right wing position, being forced away from the box by Charles, but a lovely ball finds Sheep. Sheep across for Gyökeres. Oh, he tried to tee it up for Bidwell, but got it all wrong. And now Middlesbrough will counter. Marcus Force charging down the inside right, finds out Archer getting into the edge of the area, right hand side, and the cross comes from Banzine, and Force was taken out by Gustavo Hamer at the start of that move, and Hamer gets a yellow card for his trouble. And at the end of it all, it's a corner kick as we get to the end of the minimum 3 minutes. 0-0. Middlesbrough have that corner at the south stand end.
Well, it was a definite yellow card from Hamer. I mean, he did wipe him out, but what good defending again from Carmen Lafadsin. Absolutely outstanding first 45 minutes he's had at the heart of this Coventry back three. That was magnificent.
He's got to have had more touches than anybody else in this first half. He's into that sort of thing. Moment with a corner for Middlesbrough, right on half-time. Onto the 6-yard line, headed goalwards by Darren Lenihan, but actually a very comfortable save for Ben Wilson. And that brings the first half to a close as David Cooke blows his whistle for half-time. Still no goals in this Championship playoff semi-final. Still no closer to knowing who plays Luton at Wembley. But again, the clues are there. Middlesbrough looking a little more confident in possession. They've had some great chances. Ryan Giles fizzing a ball across the face of goal early on, but sensational defending from Callum Doyle to keep it away from goal rather than turn it into his own net. A pull back pass from Tommy Smith allowed Victor Gyökeres in early on at the other end for Coventry, but Zach Steffen stuck out a right glove and kept it away from the Swedish striker, and it's been nip and tuck ever since then. Penalties loom large. Another 45 minutes of this, and then extra time, and possibly penalty kicks at the break. It's Middlesbrough 0, Coventry City 0. Middlesbrough get underway, kicking towards the north stand to our left in their red strip with the white horizontal stripe across the chest. Coventry in all sky blue. They'll be heading for the south stand away to our right hand side. We're sat right at the back of the west stand here at the Riverside, and behind us is a banner commemorating the late great Ali Brownlee, who was a regular commentator here on Teesside on Middlesbrough. How he would love to have been here for a night like tonight, and how we miss the fact that he's not here on nights like tonight. Such a lovely fella. He'd be proud of the way Middlesbrough have gone about their business under Michael Carrick since late October. But they've got work to do here, and they've got some defending to do here, because Coventry coming forward with Bidwell looking for Gyökeres early in the half, and it screws away from Norton Cuffy. An important touch from Ryan Giles at the far post as Bidwell scurried down the Coventry left and whipped an early cross in. 0-0.
Wasn't the worst cross you've ever seen, was it? Put it into the right area. He's got forward pretty well, not quite as much as Giles for Borough.
Here's Gustavo Hamer at the edge of the area, finds Jamie Allen, trying to give it back to Hamer when he might have been better placed shooting from inside the D. It's worked back to Allen again at the edge of the area. He plays a 1-2 again, chips the ball to the far post, well claimed under the crossbar by Zach Steffen. Coventry had a bit of a rocket at half-time, it seems.
Yeah, good football there, really good. Norton Cuffy fizzes a pass into Jamie Allen inside the box. The touch is fantastic from him. Little 1-2 with Gyökeres, and then he tries to dink across to the far post, keep up with those long levers that I've been talking about, just plucks it out of the air. But that was better football from Coventry.
Now Middlesbrough, I'll run through the lineups in a minute when I get a chance, but tempo's picked up the start of the second half the way the first half ends. Actually, it's back with Zach Steffen, so let's run through the Middlesbrough lineup. Steffen in goal, Smith, McNair, Lenihan, Giles, Hackney, Mowat, Force, Akpom, McGree and Archer. For Coventry, Wilson the keeper, then McNally, McFadzean and Doyle, Sheaf, Kelly, Hamer, Allen in midfield, Norton, Cuffy and Bidwell wide, Gyökeres up front. No changes made at half-time by either Michael Carrick or Mark Robbins. And Ryan McGree giving chase at the end of the year, just eased out of the way by Luke McNally. Bit of professionalism from the young Coventry centre-half, and McFadzean typically hoofs the ball clear.
Yeah, but he's so much better than that, isn't he, McFadzean? He is the cover guy. Every time tonight, Coventry have been in a little bit of a pickle. He turns up on the scene, doesn't he, McFadzean?
36 years young.
Yeah, he reads the game. He uses that experience so wisely. Just anticipates things. He is integral to Coventry City's excellent defensive record, and we're seeing that tonight. He has been, he's certainly been Coventry's best player.
Made over 600 club appearances, and he's trying to bring all that experience to bear here for Coventry City in this playoff semi-final, with Luton Town awaiting at Wembley Stadium. Gotta love the playoffs. 3 minutes gone in the second half. 0-0. Extra time and penalties may or may not be required. Ball's out of play. Coventry thought they'd worked a neat angle tight to the touchline on the far side, but it's been given as a Middlesbrough throw. And the atmosphere being ramped up again, and the Coventry fans, 2,000 or so in the southeast corner, that's all they were allowed by Middlesbrough. A bit of tit for tat after Coventry only allowed 2,000 Borough fans to come south on Sunday.
Well, I don't think they'd have been allowed more here. There was more space probably at the CPS, but
well, there must be at least 30,000 here. I think 30,000 or so is their best attendance so far this season. I think they've been averaging 27,000 here.
This is a tremendous crowd. Yeah, this is as full as I've seen the Riverside in many years.
I was here for the cup tie against Spurs in the League Cup when it was pretty full. Josh Coburn scoring a winning goal that night.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, down that end.
It was down the end that Middlesbrough are attacking in this second half. Away to our left, the North Stand end at the Riverside. 6th consecutive season in the Championship for Middlesbrough, and their finishes 5th, 7th, 17th, 10th, 7th, and finished 3rd this year. Now here comes Gyökeres for Coventry. He's got runners either ahead of him. Chance for Coventry to take the lead. Here's Jamie Allen, screws it wide. What a chance for Jamie Allen. Didn't get the shot on target. What a big miss for the Coventry number 8, who puts his hands behind his head. He knows that was as good a chance as Coventry have had in the entire playoff semi-final leg and a bit.
Oh, I cannot believe he's missed this. Wow, what a barnstorming run it was down the centre of the pitch.
Against Sheaf.
It's Sheaf that gets into the area, and he just puts it on a plate for Jamie Allen, and he gets his feet caught up between him. Gyökeres on the turnover, Sheaf into the box, and the cutback's perfect. Oh, but the finish isn't.
Bit of a life there for Middlesbrough. Stays 0-0 on Talksport 2, but here come the home side. Hackney releases Ryan Giles down the left-hand side, underneath our Coventry position. Goes out further down the left-hand side for McGree, but McNally stabs the ball out of play for a throw, level with the box. On this near side of the left, McGree's going to leave it for Giles to take.
Yeah, great atmosphere. Coventry fans, I think they're growing in belief over in that far corner. Really getting behind their supporters. A few of them followed me up on the motorway.
Bit of space for Mowat to float the ball into Akpom inside the area. Chests it down, but the flag has gone up long before he tried to hook his left foot round it. He didn't get the shot in the end, but he was offside from the ball over the top from Mowat.
It's the right idea, isn't it? I think they need to do a bit. It's a very marginal decision as well. I think just about that's the right call. Real tight one. But Akpom needs to do that. He needs to make those runs in beyond the centre halves. It can't just be Archer. Akpom, we know he's brilliant when he comes short, but sometimes he has to go beyond, and there it was the right idea, but the flag went against him.
Well, we are in a VAR free zone in the EFL. Some would say thank goodness for that.
Yeah, I thought that under my breath.
Howard Webb was on White and Jordan this morning on Talksport, the new head of the referees, explaining the future of VAR. White and Jordan back from 10 in the morning on Talksport after breakfast with Alan Brazil and Ali McCoy's. Jim White and Simon Jordan will take you through until lunchtime tomorrow with the most topical debate show to see you through your morning time. Stefan in possession, the Middlesbrough goalkeeper. Plays it up towards the halfway line. A transfer Smith to advance. Now Force takes over and gives it back to Paddy McNair, who's under pressure from Gyökeres. Fires it back to Stefan, but well controlled by the Manchester City loanee. Manchester City, incidentally, 2-0 up on Real Madrid in the second half of that Champions League semi-final second leg, live on Talksport right now. Much tighter to call here, 0-0, but here come Middlesbrough with Cameron Archer. But a very cool and calm challenge from Luke McNally to put it out for another Middlesbrough throw on this left-hand side, 0-0.
Yeah, the back three of Coventry have been really, really good tonight. Hayden Hackney was prompting there. He was the man that released Cameron Archer. I really like the way he travels with the ball. He's principally a holding midfielder that's neat and tidy, but every now and again he just carries it. And when he carries it with a real purpose. He draws players in, as I was talking about earlier with Dan Windle. Sometimes you've got to do that. Commit a defender, take the ball to them, then pass it around. And that's the way to take defenders out of the game. Not everything can just be played out in front of them.
Started adding goals to his game as well, Hayden Hackney. 20 years of age, a real breakthrough season for him. Foul by Riley McGree, backing in to a Coventry defender at the edge of the D. David Coote, our referee, gives the offence against him. Half time in the WSL, West Ham 0, Chelsea 1, after Arsenal's women won 4-1 at Everton. So Chelsea, as it stands, are going back top of the WSL, above Manchester United, and after tonight everybody in the WSL will have 2 games to play. Middlesbrough in possession with the aforementioned Hayden Hackney, now volleyed downfield without too much ceremony by Paddy McNair. Norton Cuffy will just let the ball bounce out of play on this near touch line, and he gets it back into play with a Coventry throw. Adrian Clark, 0-0.
Yeah, look, I'm still enjoying the game. I know he's goalless, but this is just simmering, isn't it?
Yeah.
And it's crying out for a moment of magic, a moment of inspiration, someone to just take a chance, someone to make a run, gamble inside the box, someone to try their luck from distance.
Gustavo Hamer just drops his shoulder, keeps the ball away from Marcus Force. He's midway point of the Middlesbrough half. He tried to play a very ambitious driving the ball across the box, looking for Norton Cuffy coming in on the right hand side, but it was overhit by Hamer, and it's a Middlesbrough goal kick. We played 10 minutes of the second half on your home of the EFL and the EFL playoffs, Talksport 2. Middlesbrough 0, Coventry 0 it remains.
Yeah, I mean, it's Coventry's fans that we can hear loudest inside the Riverside. I think they're growing in belief. I think that Mark Robins' players are growing in belief as well.
You mentioned it in your What the EFL podcast about how the counter-attack potential for Coventry would suit them a little better in this tie than having to carry the issue as they probably felt they had to do at the CBS Arena.
Yeah, no, it's true. And yeah, they go from back to front really, really quickly, Coventry, and I just feel that's where they can maybe hurt Borough, but right now they've got some defending to do.
Akpom down the right hand side of the Coventry box, but Hamer back in a defensive area forces Akpom to slide it in and put it out for a goal kick, when Akpom appeared to think it might have come off Hamer last of all. But at least Akpom looks like he's not in any discomfort, as we feared he might be after that whack on the knee he took in the first half. Both managers still stood at the edge of their technical areas. Mark Robins hands in pockets. Carrick mostly calm, but just showing a little bit of frustration that there's not a high press as Coventry bring the ball out from the back.
Yeah, you want Ben Wilson tested more. You know, this is a home game. We just haven't seen enough shots on target right across both legs, really. We've seen some good football, we've seen some competitive play, moments of quality, but not enough clear chances.
Now here's Ben Sheep playing the ball over the top. Gyökeres in behind, out comes Stefan. Gyökeres goes round him, angles tight. Hamer takes over, chops inside the defender, goes for goal and puts Coventry in front. Magnificent finish from Gustavo Hamer. Gyökeres did all the hard work. A ball over the top from Sheep, got Gyökeres in through the middle. Stefan came out. Gyökeres went round him. By the time he'd settled with the ball, the angle was tight, but Gustavo Hamer just said, leave it to me, I'll take care of it. And what a finish into the top corner. Deadlock broken, and it's Coventry City who break that deadlock. 57 minutes gone. It's Middlesbrough 0, Coventry 1.
We were crying out for one moment of quality, and we have just seen it from Gustavo Hamer. As Gyökeres lobs the ball over the keeper, it falls to Hamer, and he does not rush. He takes his time, he chops inside his man. There's 3 players to beat on the goal line, but he just steadies himself, Hamer, and then he curls it, top corner, unstoppable.
10th goal of the season for Gustavo Hamer. What a time to get double figures. And those Coventry fans in the southeast corner lighting the blue smoke bombs again and believing that Wembley is within their grasp. Middlesbrough, the favourites before the Championship playoff semi-finals began, by virtue of their strong third place finish, now have just over half an hour to find a response here in front of their own. 1-0 Coventry.
What I noticed from the home fans was a roar. There was no, this is it, this is done. The response was, come on boys, we're still in this. And I think that Middlesbrough should believe that. They are still very much in the game.
Tommy Smith down the right hand side for Middlesbrough as they try to respond quickly. He's want to throw level with the edge of the area. You're dead right, Adrian Clark, and your club Arsenal are as good an example of that, of the crowd getting behind if they've gone behind early in matches this season. Here's Smith again. Down the right hand side towards the corner flag, just chops, gives the ball in field to McGree, still down the right hand side of the Coventry box. Offside flag goes up, and that will frustrate the home fans. Free kick to Coventry, who lead by a 1-0 as we tick round towards the hour mark here on Talksport 2 in the playoffs.
Yeah, we were talking about Middlesbrough maybe playing too much in front of Coventry, and that Gyökeres has that pace to get in behind, and I don't think, it's not a surprise to me that that's where the goal comes from. That's what they've got in their armoury, Coventry City. They can just flick a ball over the top and he will get on the end of it. He beats the keeper, and then from there, there's a lot to do for Gus Hamer, a lot to do, but he stays so calm, doesn't he? So calm. I just love the finish, loved it. Top corner with 2 or 3 on the goal line.
I'm not sure whether Zach Steffen got fingertips to it as well, on his way in.
But there were so many players blocking his path, but he was unfazed by it.
Yeah.
It was like, no, I know exactly where I'm sticking this, and you're not going to get there.
You're listening to Middlesbrough 0, Coventry 1 in the EFL Championship playoff semi-final, live on Talksport 2 with Carling. The UK's #1 lager, 18+. Please drink responsibly. Here comes Chuba Akpom bursting forward for Middlesbrough. It goes down under pressure from Liam Kelly, and that's a free kick for Middlesbrough. Dead centre, about 30 yards out. Somebody's going to have a crack at goal here for the Borough.
Well, you've got to shoot from here. It's a good run, isn't it, from Chuba Akpom.
Kelly's getting booked as well, I think.
No surprise. I mean, he's just scrambling back, isn't he? I think it is a foul, but there's a little bit of aggro going on. Yeah, it's Mafanzine has picked one up as well.
Yeah, that's for trying to delay the quick taking of the free kick, I think, and just the housery, as we're now calling it these days.
If they get a red here, they miss the final?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, you've got to be careful then, haven't they? So, look, this is dead centre. It is a long way out. I'd say we're talking...
It's more like 35 yards,
we're talking 33, 34 yards out. Could be 35, yeah.
See, that's what I said.
I think you're probably right, on reflection. I was trying to argue with it, but I accept that you were correct.
I understand you trying to argue with me, that's fine. Alex Mowat standing over the free kick. Maybe he'll have a cracking goal this time. Three-man Coventry wall inside the D. Mowat in fact lifts it to the far right-hand side of the box, across the face of goal, and it just got cleared away. It was Lenihan who was trying to help it across the face of goal in the end for Middlesbrough, but didn't get the power he wanted to find a teammate.
It's a good free kick, but who was there to clear it? It's the hero, Gus Hammer. I mean, what a season he's had. Double he's got now, 10 goals, 10 assists. I mean, such a good signing, Brazilian boy.
He came from the Zwolle in the Dutch Eredivisie a couple of years ago. 1-0 Coventry lead if you're just tuning into Talksport 2. Giles though for Middlesbrough, gets to the byline, pulls it across the face of goal, and it's cleared away by Carl McFadzean for a throw to Middlesbrough.
It's always Carl McFadzean.
Now Hayden Hackney for Middlesbrough plays the ball into the centre of the half. It's forced McNair to come forward to stop Kelly getting hold of what was almost a 50-50 ball in the centre of the field. Manchester City still 2-0 up on Real Madrid, incidentally, over on Talksport in the Champions League semi-final. This has only one goal in it, and it's gone to Coventry City. Middlesbrough in possession with Giles. Faced up by Norton Cuffy, just gives the ball back 5 yards or so to Hackney. Hackney's giving it away to Hamer. Lovely ball into the centre circle with Jamie Allen, who's got defenders backpedaling. Gyökeres makes a dummy run, allows Allen to continue to the edge of the area. Shot deflected. Lenihan will prevent the corner and clear it out of play. Well, he knows, kept in play on this near side by Ryan Giles. What a run from Jamie Allen, helped by Victor Gyökeres, but didn't get his shot right, Adrian Clark.
Superb movement, wasn't it, for Gyökeres? Just took the defender away, and Allen said, OK, thank you very much, I'll just continue to run into the space.
And here's Gyökeres again making tracks down the left-hand side. Onside as he gets to the dead ball line. No support whatsoever. Still has it inside the area, trying to make room for a shot. It's blocked in the end, the shot by McNair. Comes out to the left-hand corner. Bidwell lobs it to the far post where the goal scorer Hamer will pick it up. Down by the dead ball line. Faced up by Giles. Norton Cuffy there at the right-hand corner of the area. Plays it into the box. A 1-2 with Sheep. Norton Cuffy couldn't carry the ball down the right-hand side of the area, and Middlesbrough come away with it. 64 minutes gone. 1-0 to Coventry. Vital foot in for McNally to stop Archie getting forward past the halfway line.
Brilliant. Great defending. But yeah, the game's opened up big time now. It's end-to-end. Coventry carry a massive threat when the game gets stretched, but this might help Middlesbrough too.
Adrian Clark, former Arsenal midfielder, alongside me, Ian Tanter here at the Riverside. We finally have someone with an advantage in this playoff tie, and it is the visitors here tonight. Mark Robinson, Coventry City, who lead through that Gustavo Hamer strike just before the hour. We've now played 64 and a half minutes. Here is the Middlesbrough captain, Darren Lenihan, once with Blackburn Rovers. Midway point of the Coventry half, just lays it off to young Hayden Hackney. McGree now takes over, just chips the ball, reverse ball into the area, but chested back by Callum Doyle to his keeper Ben Wilson, who then waits for Force to get close to him before collapsing on the ball Jordan Pickford style. And now he's rolling around claiming he was caught by Marcus Force, and it's like he's doing the dying fly. If anybody remembers Tiz was from the 1970s.
Well, I'm going to have a look at this. Let's have a look. I mean, come on, Ben. Come on, mate.
Yeah, it caught on the side of the ear, maybe by Marcus Force's sock.
It's a bit embarrassing because, there's contact, but absolutely not worthy of treatment, and that's what Ben Wilson's doing by rolling around. I mean, he's faking this.
Right, it's a triple change for Middlesbrough, and that's Marcus Force's last act, because he's being replaced by Isaiah Jones. Also coming off is Dan Barlays. He's coming on for Alex Mowat. Interesting that he's given the opportunity. Of course, Johnny Howson not fit enough to be part of the squad. And the other change sees Tommy Smith being replaced by Anthony Dijksteel. So fullback for fullback. Pretty much all like-for-like switches there, Adrian Clark, with these three changes made by Michael Carrick, 1-0 down.
Yes, he's not one for ripping up plan A and going with a plan B, Michael. But it's just to freshen things up, isn't it? I think Dan Barlaser is a very, very good passer. You know, Isaiah Jones, I think obviously Fours has come back from a month out. Jones has been playing and has carried a real threat actually in recent games. I've watched in the flesh 2 of the last 3 Borough games prior to tonight, and he's been pretty, prominent in both of those games. And Dyke still got sent off at Rotherham in another game that I was at, and that's how he lost his place.
Finally back underway is Wilson, who's going to be the chief pantomime villain for those Coventry fans behind him at the north stand end, clears it downfield. Chelsea's women are now 2-0 up on West Ham in the WSL. Pernille Harder with a second for Chelsea. Arsenal won earlier against Everton in the WSL by 4-1. Manchester City 2-0 up on Real Madrid. 1-0 to Coventry City here in the Championship playoff semi-final. A scoreline that takes them to Wembley as it stands with a quarter of the game to go in the 90. But here comes Dykesdale with an early run. What a run! Jones right hand side of the box. Oh, the cross doesn't find its intended target. But the 2 substitutes showed great pace down that right hand side, and Dykesdale, wow, if that's what we got to come for his cameo, then Coventry will have their work cut out to hold on to this 1-goal lead.
He just exploded, didn't he, Dykesdale? He went through the challenge of Callum Doyle too easily. Not good defending from him, but it's a terrible cross from Isaiah Jones. It's absolutely awful. It's horrible when you're a winger and you do that, because that's your trade. You're there to cross, and when you balloon one behind the goal, that's embarrassing. And I think he'll be feeling red face.
Ben Wilson really taking his time. He had the 2 centre-halves in the box with him. Thought he was going to take a short goal kick, then bidded him to go away, and then took an ace to take the goal kick. Now a foul on Gyökeres about 5 yards outside the area, and a yellow card issued by David Coote to Darragh Lenihan for that challenge. So both of the Middlesbrough centre-halves now on yellow cards. Gyökeres again having his shirt pulled as he spun away from his man.
He's so good at it. He's so good at it, isn't he? He feels the defender, rolls them. He did the same to get the yellow card from McNair, and Lenihan kind of feels he's got no option but to tug on the shirt. And this is within shooting range. Now Bidwell will fancy it, but so too with Gus Hamer.
Change is going to be made before the free kick is taken, and Josh Eccles is going to come on for Ben Sheep. Another like-for-like switch, this time from a Coventry City point of view. Eccles played in the first leg, so he comes on for Sheep, who's had his decent moments.
Yeah, well, he's been out injured, and that's the reason he's coming off. He's a little bit short of match fitness, but he's done an excellent job for his team tonight. And I think Josh Eccles, though he's a rookie player, first full season as a Coventry first teamer, he's made a good impression.
Scored his first senior goal against Birmingham last month, and he's on for Sheep. Now the free kick is to the left of centre, not quite at the left hand corner of the box, but not especially far away from it. Favours a right-footed effort. There's a 5-man Middlesbrough wall standing just inside the 18-yard box, and Gustavo Hamer takes it right-footed, hits the angle of post and bar. Morton Cuffy heads it back to the edge of the box, and Dyke still volleys it up into the air. Gustavo Hamer inches away from a second for him and for Coventry.
Well, it's almost the perfect free kick. It is a glorious effort from Gus Hamer. Whips it over the wall. He's got dip. Oh, you're not stopping that. It was fiercely struck. It absolutely rattled the frame of the goal. The ball was accelerating as it hit the woodwork. That was, well, it would have been unstoppable had it not hit the woodwork.
Stephan was a spectator. Here's Cameron Archer for Middlesbrough. Loses possession. It's fired downfield by Norton Cuffy. Gyökeres again superb on halfway to protect the ball from Lenihan. Now just holding the ball up slightly as he drifts out to this near touchline, and he wins the throw in the end off Barlaser.
He's an outstanding centre forward, isn't he, Victor Gyökeres? I got a lot of stick from Borough fans when I said on Talksport 2 that I thought he might have got Championship Player of the Year ahead of Chiba Akpom, but I think he's a sensational player at this level.
Interesting debate.
It is a debate, isn't it? Both brilliant this season, but you know what he brings as well is He's a lot more assists. He creates as many chances as he has on goal himself. And tonight, as a lone thrower up top, he's been a total handful.
You're right, 10 assists for him compared to Akpom's 2. It's in terms of versatility, I take your point. But there we go, the award was made. Akpom was given the
and good on him. Good on him for it. He's been brilliant, and I'm so happy for him. He's finally found a home here on Teesside.
The Coventry fans you can hear at the moment with 18 minutes to go, in full voice in the southeast corner opposite our commentary position, but this game is far from done. Dykesdale for Middlesbrough, driving again down the right hand side, gets to the byline, tries to pull the cross in, but it comes off the heel of Bidwell and out for a throw on the far side. 1-0 Coventry City lead.
He's added something, hasn't he, Dykesdale?
Without question. And he'll have it again out on the far side. Barlaser finds Isaiah Jones, just tucks it back to McGree, right hand corner of the box, and tries to drive right into the chest of Callum Doyle. Claims for a penalty from those fans at the North Stand end. Meantime, Hamer out muscles Cameron Archer. Eccles gets involved for the first time, goes to ground, loses out, and now Hayden Hackney tries to find McGree at the edge of the area, is fouled, and now Middlesbrough have a free kick and another yellow card, this time for Luke McNally. I'm losing count here.
Is there anyone left without a yellow?
Yeah, there's a few in fairness, but that's all 3 Coventry centre-halves now booked.
Well, that's not great, is it? That is a concern. It was another good run, wasn't it, from Hayden Hackney? He's really positive. He's not just your guy that gives and goes. He will sometimes have a little dribble. He's very good at it. Looking at the handball appeal, I don't think he can give it. It might have hit his shoulder, but the arm was in what you'd call a natural position.
Here we go, t-shirt line and all that.
Yeah, it's the right call not to give the pen. But look, this is a free kick in a good area.
Yeah, this is closer to the left-hand corner of the penalty area than Coventry's last free kick was. It's a free kick to Middlesbrough. Barlaser and Hackney standing over it. Giles sends it to the far post, headed out to the edge of the area. McGree fires it back in, blocked by a forest of sky blue legs in front of goal. Comes out to Giles again on the Middlesbrough left, tries to wrap his foot round it, and it lands behind the dead ball line as Wilson watches the ball sail over his head, and it just ends up being a Coventry City goal kick. Time ticks away at the Riverside Stadium. This is Talksport 2. It's the playoffs. 16 minutes to go. Middlesbrough 0, Coventry City 1. Adrian Clark.
The whole season comes down to the last 15 minutes or so now, doesn't it? What have Middlesbrough got left in the tank? What have they got left? I think they'll get one big chance for sure.
You've just been looking at the stats for how well Coventry do when they score first in games.
Yeah, you caught me out there. I have. And it's pretty good.
Get to that in a minute. As Archer goes down, wants a free kick. So do most of the crowd, but David Coote waves his arms to say no. Jamie Allen retrieves possession for Coventry. Gyökeres holds onto the ball and gives it back to Hamer. Hamer looks for Jamie Allen, trying to lay it off with Gyökeres, but poor touch. Picked up by Hayden Hackney for Middlesbrough. Barlaser on the halfway line, finds Tuba Akpom, turns away from Allen. Giles in a bit of space to his left, picks it up now. Midway point of the half, tries to run round Norton Coffey the long way, was never going to get round him. And Coventry tidy up, and Norton Coffey brings it away. 1-0 to the Sky Blues. Now, Liam Kelly looks at the ball long. Gyökeres, ever willing, but McNair gets in front of him this time and wins the header.
Does ever so well. The game's so stretched now. Yeah, look, 18 wins from 24 for Coventry City when they've taken the lead. So from 1-0 up, they've won 18 of 24, Coventry. But Middlesbrough are the second best when it comes to coming back from 1-0 down in the Championship.
Now, Dykesdale down the right-hand side for Middlesbrough. It's giving back to Barlays, the right-hand corner of the area. Tries to cross. It's headed away. Try over on Talksport. Manchester City 3-0 up on Real Madrid, and now 4-1 on aggregate. An own goal. Surely it's the final. Manchester City, Inter Milan. Be live on Talksport at the end of the season. here things are far from clear. Barlaser for Middlesbrough, trailing by a goal to nil. Looks for Isaiah Jones inside the box, but there were enough sky blue shirts back there to wrestle it clear, and Doyle looks to release Gyökeres down the left hand side. Lenihan gets there first, goes to ground. He was pushed by Gyökeres, and the referee was just about keeping up with play. It's the free kick to Middlesbrough. It's 1-0 to Coventry, and now there's less than 13 minutes to play, and Gyökeres, for kicking the ball away, becomes, I think, the ninth player to get a yellow card.
Yeah, he's been a bit card happy, hasn't he, David Coote, tonight?
Maybe he's had to be.
Yeah, well, you've also got to judge the occasion. It was always going to be niggly tonight. But Mafadze's limping. Great piece of defending inside his box for about the 20th time tonight, but he's not moving too well now, Mafadze.
And Cathy Darbo ready to come on for Coventry, but here come Middlesbrough, a goal down. Ryan Giles looks for Riley McGree down the left-hand side of the penalty area, attacking the north stand, then to a left. McGree comes inside, gets to the edge of the area, tries a reverse pass for Archer that gets intercepted and cleared downfield. Carrick collects the ball as it trickles over the touchline, gives it straight to his captain Lenihan to get play restarted. 12 and a half minutes to go. Middlesbrough 0, Coventry 1 on Talksport 2, your home of the EFL playoffs. McGree hits the ball against McNally, wants a free kick or a corner, gets neither. It's a goal kick to Coventry City, and now Pankati Darbo will come on. So too will Matty Godden for a double change for the visitors. But Fadzi, as you mentioned, Adrian Clark,
he's struggling,
just sitting down on his, sitting up actually at the edge of his own penalty area.
I do hope he's not picked up something that might rule him out of that Wembley showpiece. There's a bit of a gap, isn't there? Obviously, if Coventry get there, they will want him.
You try and tell him he's not playing.
Yeah, exactly. But it might be game over for him. But I think they're just going to wait and find out what the prognosis is on McFadzean before they confirm these substitutions. Just thinking about Michael Carrick, he's made some changes, added fresh legs, but I think the time has come to try something a bit different. You know, are they going to be a bit direct? Are they going to put 2 or 3 up front? Are they going to change the shape?
Well, here comes the change, and it is Brooke Norton-Cuffy who's coming off to allow Pankati Darbo to come on. And the other change, Jamie Allen, is the player that's coming off to allow Matt Godden to enter the fray.
Well, midfielder off for a striker.
Interesting again, as Mark Robbins, who was leaving 2 up at corner kicks when defending, now brings on, rather than a defender for a striker, to see out a 1-0 win. Well, we'll see whether it pays off, Adrian Clark.
Yeah, he who dares, Rodney. But Fadzine, I think, wants to come back on, so that's interesting. But yeah, I think Crooks is the obvious one. I'm thinking, where is he? He's warming up beneath us. I think the time, because Crooks gets into the box, causes a bit of chaos. He's massive, which is something they don't really have Middlesbrough going forward. I think Michael Carrick's got to be a bit more dynamic. We know he's relaxed, we know he's confident in his players, but the moment of truth is upon us now, and I think he has got to act here and make a more decisive decision.
Talksport 2 in the playoffs. We are ticking round into the last 10 minutes of normal time here at the Riverside Stadium. Coventry holding a 1-goal lead given to them by Gustavo Hamer. But here's Isaiah Jones for Middlesbrough as they attack the end to our left to try and get an equaliser, at least to force extra time. Hackney out to Jones, hugging that right-hand touchline. Dykesteel's ahead of him, but he goes infield to Barley. It's a good first-line ball for Dykesteel. Could have crossed for a moment, but he elected just to hold on for a moment. Ball was put out of play by Ackles for a throw. And Hackney again for Middlesbrough. Play all out on the far side at the moment from us, in front of the east stand. Now it's swept across to the near side to us, and Ryan Giles stepping inside Darbo, up to the edge of the area, tries to play a 1-2, doesn't come off. Godden will get his first involvement, finds his captain Liam Kelly, who clips it up to Gyökeres, holds it up superbly shy of the halfway line, and now a run through the middle from Godden. Can it be found by Hamer? Zach Steffen comes out to the edge of his area, chests it away from danger.
Oh, it's good goalkeeping actually. He took a chance there with Zach Steffen, but he intercepted the move because Godden was in.
But then Jones and Dykesteel mess up, and then Hamer nods it down to the edge of the area. Gyökeres gets a drive and it's blocked, and then Hamer again on his left foot. It was God in the actual fact who tried the effort, but Hamer on his left foot not quite as effective as he was with his right when he scored.
No, he scored 2 really good goals here at the Riverside in the last 10-11 days, Gustavo Hamer. But is that strike we saw where he was so composed in the box, where he sticks it top corner, is that going to be the goal that takes Coventry City to Wembley?
Luton Town await. Rob Edwards is here checking out these two teams. 32,154 inside the Riverside. Magnificent support from all concerned, including those 2,000 or so who travelled up the M1 and the A19 to get here. They're the happiest at the moment, but here come Middlesbrough. Hayden Hackney teases it out to the right hand side. Dykesdale fakes the cross, finds Jones. Jones goes down at the edge of the area. No foul, says the referee. McGree picks the ball up for Middlesbrough. Has it 25 yards out, has to flick it back into the centre of the half for McNair. McNair wants an option. Just to his right is Hackney. Jones turns it round the corner. Can McGree keep it in play? He can't pull it back. Archer can't get the shot away, either at the first or second time of asking, and then he carried it out of play, did he? No, it's kept in play. Jones goes for goal and it's blocked wide for a corner.
Wow.
For Middlesbrough. I mean, Hammer and Archer was so well placed but couldn't get the shot away.
I mean, a couple of times there I thought the ball must have gone out of play, or there was a stoppage. Not the yellow card, by the way. But this was brilliant from Riley McGree to actually get there. Did he keep the ball in? I think he did. And then there were appeals for handball from a Coventry player. Then the ball does go out of play.
I thought I saw it go out of play. I thought my eyes weren't playing tricks on me.
But Borough carried on playing, and in the end they win the corner. So this will be controversial if Middlesbrough can score from this set piece.
Well,
they'll be up in arms, Coventry.
They can't take the corner yet because there's a Coventry player down with cramp. Guess who? It's McFadzean.
Yeah.
36 years young. Fingernails being chewed to the bone all round us.
It looks like he's got wooden legs, McFadzean, at the minute.
6.5 minutes to go. It's a Middlesbrough corner. Going to be swept in from the left-hand side by Ryan Giles into the near post. Archer under the crossbar, volleys it over and it lands just beyond the roof of the net. Again, Archer in position, but it was awkward for him. He just couldn't twist his body around to make it work. McFadzean's gone down again with cramp. Comes to Turp in frustration, but this is going to kill a few more seconds of normal time, and maybe Mark Robbins might decide to make a change from his bench.
I think he might have to. I mean, what a corner that was, by the way. That was vicious. Whipped in, left-footed. He got a little flick, and as it has all evening, it just didn't fall. It just didn't fall for Middlesbrough. They need a bit of luck here, and they've had none tonight. The run of the ball has gone against the home side all night long. Archer there just got ahead of it and couldn't direct the shot on target. He's only 4 or 5 yards out, but it didn't fall for him.
Well, Jonathan Panso, who's on loan at Coventry from Nottingham Forest, is going to replace Carl McFadzean for these last 5 minutes of normal time, as McFadzean's led behind the goal to our left-hand side, looking a little disconsolate. Manchester City 3-0 up. He's getting the bird from the fans in the North Stand.
You won't mind that. He's a very experienced player, and he's been awesome tonight, McFadzean.
Now Ben Wilson taking his time again over the goal kicks.
Well, he's doing his best Nick Pope impression, isn't he? Or
yes.
Or Aaron Ramsdale, or any of these guys. They're all at it, aren't they?
Seems to be the trend. Wilson finally, and he's getting a yellow card, which means that the goal kick's going to be delayed even further. Wow. Double figures in terms of yellow cards, but no red.
Well, feels only a matter of time before we get a red.
Well, maybe so, but it will be a few more seconds before Wilson gets the ball back into play.
Yeah, and he's not going to hurry up. He's got to be careful, of course, not to get the second one.
Middlesbrough 0, Coventry 1. Less than 5 minutes of normal time to go. Manchester City 3-0 up on Real Madrid. Everything will be discussed on Talksport Breakfast in the morning with Alan Brazil and Ali McCoist from 6 a.m. when you wake up on Talksport. More live football tomorrow night from the Premier League. You've got Newcastle against Brighton, exclusive to Talksport. AZ Alkmaar against West Ham in the Europa Conference League on Talksport 2. And Sheffield Wednesday, Peterborough in the League One playoff semi-second leg. That's exclusive to the Talksport app. Middlesbrough in possession inside their own half. It's back with their keeper, Zach Steffen. The American clears it right-footed, almost reaches the halfway line, headed up in the air by the diminutive Liam Kelly. Drops for Hayden Hackney. And there was a foul on a Middlesbrough player, so a free kick to Borough just shy of the halfway line, and they're desperate to get the ball restarted.
Yeah, there's still no change from Carrick. Still no Crooks. He believes in these players. He believes in this way of playing.
It's Barlaser.
And Crooks is just finally getting stripped and ready.
As McGree puts the ball into the box, headed up and out by Jake Bidwell. Jones lets it drop. Corner kick to Middlesbrough at the north stand end. Crooks is ready to come on. Will he be brought on before the corner kick?
Well,
1-0 Cov, 3 to go.
Get him on now. He's massive.
Yeah, and he is coming on. And who's coming off? It's Paddy McNair. So McNair goes off and Crooks comes on. Applause for McNair, who's had a right old tussle with his opposite number tonight, Victor Gyökeres. But what can Matt Crooks conjure up for Middlesbrough in these dying minutes? As it stands, Coventry are going to Wembley, but it's a Middlesbrough corner. Giles to swing it into the near post. Up go the heads. It's Godden who gets there at the near post and heads it clear for Coventry. Hook back into the box. Maybe a chance for Crooks. I don't believe it. The flag goes up to deny him. He headed the ball in, but the flag had gone up on the far side, and Matt Crooks' first touch was to head the ball home for what he thought was an equaliser, but in an offside position. Wow. And now Ben Wilson's gone down. And he's testing the referee's patience here, the Coventry goalkeeper.
Look, there's no doubt he's offside. So they've got that one right. That big call, the linesman has got spot on. But yeah, look, Ben Wilson's got to crack on here. He's on a yellow card for time wasting. You can't get sent off for 2, surely. But he is testing the referee's patience.
Well, there's 10 yellow cards. I wouldn't want to test his patience. Wilson with the free kick for the offside. So we're in the last 2 minutes of normal time. So close for Coventry City to a return to a playoff final. They did so in League 2 when Mark Robinson returned. But hang on, here come Middlesbrough. Cameron Archer into the area left-hand side, held up by Darbo. Slipped slightly and that allowed Darbo to win it back for Coventry. Touched it in field for Kelly. Kelly over the top, trying to get Gyökeres in behind, but Lenihan hooks it clear, but only as far as Godden in the centre circle for Coventry. And then Eccles looks for Gyökeres. 2-on-2 for a moment. Gyökeres into the area to try and seal it for Coventry. Gets the shot away and it's blocked. And it goes wide and it ends up being a goal kick to Middlesbrough. 1-0 Cov. Last minute of normal time.
He could have put the tie to bed there. Victor Gyökeres. He's in. I don't know why he doesn't just curl it. Bottom corner. He tries to cut in and he gets in a real muddle there, Gyökeres.
Here's Chuba Akpom. They need one of his goals right now, Middlesbrough. Darbo clears away. Manchester City have got a fall. Julian Alvarez gets in on the act. 4-0 against Real Madrid. They've swept them aside. But Middlesbrough, the championship playoff favourites with the bookmakers before a ball was kicked, are minutes away from going out. In comes the cross. Archer heads it well wide under pressure from Callum Doyle, trying to twist his neck muscles as the ball was teased in from the right hand side, but it's gone out for a goal kick. And let's see how long Ben Wilson takes to get this downfield. We're about to find out how many extra minutes we have at the end of the game. 8. Have I read that right, or do I need my glasses checked again? It does say 8 minutes, doesn't it?
It does say 8, yes. Look, I'm used to seeing 8 now, aren't you? We never used to, but I think it's about right. We've had a lot of stoppages, and for all of Ben Wilson's time wasting, it has been added on, I think. I do think the officials have got it right. And look, there's time now. There is time for Middlesbrough, who have been knocking on the door a little bit louder in the last 10 or 15 minutes.
Ball's back with Ben Wilson, who has to clear first time as Crooks thundered in on him. Downfield, up goes Godden to try and win a header, but he was fouling Barlaser. Free kick to Middlesbrough.
Yeah, just one shot on target all night for Borough. They've had a lot of good football, a lot of pressure, loads of possession, but just one save for Ben Wilson. They need to test him again.
Middlesbrough attacking down the left-hand side, looking for Ryan Giles, but across against McNally, calmly puts the ball out of play. Chelsea's women 3-0 up at West Ham now in the WSL. But here at the Riverside Stadium, we've already had a minute of the minimum 8 that David Coote has added on. Some Middlesbrough fans getting that sinking feeling. But Coventry City fans over in the southeast corner, utter gut wrench for them as Middlesbrough try and come forward down the right hand side with Isaiah Jones. Gets the ball on, pulls it across, and Wilson has to trip it over the crossbar, knowing that Akpom was lurking right behind him. Manchester City are in the final of the Champions League. They have walloped Real Madrid on their own turf, live on Talksport. But we're not done here. 1-0 to Cobb, but Middlesbrough have a corner.
Yeah, game very much on, and there Wilson was called into action. He had to tip that crossover. Wasn't a shot from Jones, but it might have been dropping in.
Barlaser with a corner deep to the far post. Might drop for Dykesdale. Knocks it back to Hackney at the edge of the area. Drives it into a forest of legs. Cleared away by Gyökeres. Back doing defending for Coventry City. And his clearance bounces out of play on the far side, just inside the Middlesbrough half. And Isaiah Jones throws it straight back in for his goalkeeper. 2 minutes of the minimum 8 have gone. 1-0 Coventry. Adrian Clark.
Well, look, no one can breathe around us. I think everyone's just so tense. We got the Coventry. I think we got the Coventry local radio next to us, haven't we? They're sort of heads in hands. They can't really concentrate on what's going on.
We've got Steve Grizovic not 3 seats up from us, the former Coventry goalkeeper.
Yeah, there's a lot of tension around the place
for differing reasons. Coventry win the ball back and clip the ball up to halfway, and Josh Eccles is the willing runner. Finds Victor Gyökeres. Godden's in space inside the box. Gyökeres pulls it back for Godden. Can't find him. Intercepted by Darragh Lenihan.
Well, again, I think he could shoot here, but he's unselfish, Gyökeres. He wants to tee up his mate Godden. Lenihan's superb. Remember, Lenihan's on his own. Yeah, they took off the other centre-half, so they really are risking it here, Middlesbrough, as they have to.
Barlaser turns and moves into the centre circle, neatly done by the Middlesbrough substitute. Finds Chuba Akpom. Akpom looks out to the Middlesbrough left for Ryan Giles, level with the edge of the area, faced up by Darbo, whips the ball around him, but goes out of play on the full. Didn't whip it enough, Ryan Giles, and he kicks the turf in frustration. Another goal kick to Coventry, another few seconds wasted while Wilson spots it. 3.5 minutes of added time have elapsed. 8 were added on. It's 1-0 to Coventry on Talksport 2.
We've seen a lot of good crosses tonight. Most of them have come from Ryan Giles' left foot. We haven't half seen a lot of bad crosses as well. Crosses that have gone behind the goal. And I think that'll be a source of great frustration to Michael Carrick and his coaching staff. They need to produce a moment of quality here. They've lacked a little bit of quality, haven't they, inside the final third tonight? Not enough of it really to test the Coventry rearguard and goalkeeper.
Well, given away in the centre circle by Hayden Hackney, but he won the ball back swiftly to stop Godden getting away. Middlesbrough have the ball on halfway, but they're looking to try and create a chance to get level. Here's Riley McGree down the left-hand side of the box, and another poor cross that goes out on the full, just like we saw from Ryan Giles not seconds ago. Goal kick to Coventry City, who still lead by 1-0 on Talksport 2, and over half of the allotted 8 minutes has now gone in stoppage time.
How many minutes have been wasted with crosses going behind the opposition goal line? It takes a while to retrieve it. Goal kicks, they've been so wasteful in wide areas at times here tonight, Middlesbrough. Just looking at their shape, 3 up front, clearly with Crooks and Akpom and Archer. Jones is playing up top really too. I don't even know what their formation is. It's basically, let's just stick as many players as forward as we can and hope to make something happen. And we're in that kind of last chance saloon territory now, aren't we?
Won't be long before Zach Steffen comes up for set pieces like Patterson of Sunderland did last night to try and get them level, but Luton won out in the end. Coventry are winning out here at the moment, but there's time left for goals in this game on Talksport 2. Middlesbrough have the ball with Isaiah Jones and Fernie Dykesdale right hand side. Foul on Isaiah Jones from Josh Eccles. A chance for a free kick to be sent into the box on the right hand side. I'm just looking at Zach Steffen. He's staying at home to a degree. He's at the edge of the centre circle.
Yeah, he's the other look.
Keeper.
I don't think Michael's sending him forward. But look, they want to get a move on here. We're ticking. We've got 2 minutes left of injury time.
Free kick from the right hand side, and there's a one-man wall of Gustavo Hamer, the goal scorer, stood at the right hand corner of the box. Plenty forward, of course, everyone back for Coventry to defend this. It's going to be sent in by Barlaser in front of goal, drops in the 6-yard box, onto the bar from Akpom. Leatherhead tries to head it goalwards, and Coventry smuggle it clear. How on earth did that stay out? Offside flag up in the end anyway.
It just feels like it's not Middlesbrough's night. It's not meant to be. I know the flag has gone up here, rightly so. You still got to finish, haven't you? 3 yards out, and he's hit the crossbar. They win the first ball. It's Crooks causing that chaos that we said he might cause, but Cameron Archer, the arch predator really, inside Championship penalty boxes, somehow misses from 3 yards out. It kind of sums up Middlesbrough's night.
Wilson smacks the goal kick downfield for Coventry, drifts out of play in front of the jubilant Coventry fans. They're almost there. We're in the last minute of the minimum 8 that's been added on. Stefan gives the ball to Barlays, and Middlesbrough have got to get the ball downfield and quickly. Hackney in the centre circle, under pressure from Gyökeres. Now Barlaser again drifts into the Coventry half. Goes right for Dykesdale. 5 waiting for a cross. In it comes from Dykesdale, headed behind by Panzo. Corner right at the death for Middlesbrough. Surely Stefan will come forward for this.
He's not coming up. What? Get up there, keeper. What are you waiting for?
Instead he stood on the halfway line, kind of no man's land. Middlesbrough corner. Last chance saloon to get an equaliser. Giles to take it, left-footed in swinger. Up go the heads, it drops on the left-hand side of the box. It's kept in play and then put behind for another corner as Crooks hit it against the defender Luke McNally. Another corner at the north stand, and still Stefan won't go and join in.
This is it, isn't it? It's now or never for Borough.
Corner kick on this near side. Now Stefan's trotting forward to join in, and he stops. In it comes deep to the far post. Dyke still goes up for a header, but there's a Coventry player who gets there first, and Gustavo Hamer puts it downfield, and Coventry City have won it, and the Sky Blues are heading to Wembley Stadium in the Championship playoff finals. They beat Middlesbrough by 1-0 on Teesside. Gustavo Hamer, the hero of the hour, on the hour with a right-footed curling effort after great work from Victor Gyökeres, and Mark Robbins, who won the League 2 playoffs with the Sky Blues back in 2018, makes the return to Wembley 5 years later. The first go that Coventry City have ever had at the Championship playoffs, and they're in the final. Middlesbrough have to deal with another year at Championship level, but Coventry City march on to Wembley Stadium to face Luton Town, the Dreams